Okay, welcome, Hammer family or Hammer Nation or whatever you want to call it. Boy, am I glad to be back online. I tell you, it's been a long 6 weeks. You know, it's been an interesting 6 weeks, and we've had some interesting things going on. And but I sure miss talking to the coaches and talking to you and bringing this format. So we'll be doing it all summer. I mean, I'm sorry, summer, but we'll be doing it all winter through the football season, and we'll have some other things that we'll be doing along with this. So I was able to grab one of the best, whoever does it in the state of South Carolina. He graciously came on. And boy, am I, kind of geek. Walt and I have been knowing each other for a while, and I remember I can't even remember how long ago it was and everything, man. But we got the great Walt Wilson, and he's going to tell us about his journey through um, coaching in South Carolina and talk about high school football and talk about his programs, where he's been, where he's going, and give us hopefully give us a brief synopsis of where his season is right now. So what we're gonna do is get the great one on here, and I'm gonna try to make my screen short. I mean smaller here, and because this is Walt's show. Welcome, Walt. I appreciate you coming on, man. How's everything going?
Oh, it's good, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Now I tell you what. For those three people who don't know you, you mind introducing yourself to everybody?
Well, yes, I'm Walt Wilson. I'm the head coach right now at Richland Northeast High School.
And you just going through your brief, you didn't say much about your in your bio. So
Hey,
I
listen, man. I'm a man of little words.
yeah, I know, and so I'm gonna have to lead out as they say in the
I'm gonna make you work a little bit now.
yeah. Let me work a little bit. So as they say in the legal profession, I'm gonna be asking you some leading questions and everything, and you take it from there. Now,
All right,
I,
that'll work.
now where you are you South Carolinian? Did you grow up in South Carolina?
Yes. Hold on for a minute. Let me.
Yeah, go ahead,
It's
man.
a little loud out here. Hold on. Let me get a little. Cause boy, look at I'm in my man cave in the in the garage.
Okay.
But now I had to move in a little bit. All right, now what was that question now?
Yeah. Are you originally from South Carolina?
Yes,
This is
I
home.
grew up right here in Columbia, South Carolina. I went to Eau Claire High School. I'm a proud Shamrock.
Okay. Now, and who did you play? Who was your coach then?
Gerald Kelly.
Gerald Kelly, and after that.
I actually signed with East Carolina with Art Baker.
Okay.
And then I always wanted to go D1, and I did it, and then got a little homesick, and end up going down to South Carolina State, and that's where I played, finished playing, and I ended up playing for Coach Willie Jeffries.
Oh, that tree. That tree is strong, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question before I get going here. The coach, who was there, James. What's James' last name? Um, he's a black guy.
James?
Yeah, James Woodard.
No,
I'm at,
I don't
okay.
remember James.
Yeah, okay. He coached when I was in Columbia, and I was just trying to check on him.
Yeah,
I guess Casey would
yeah.
Casey
Oh
would
no, James, you talking about Eau Claire?
yeah,
No, it's James Casey.
yeah.
Was it James Casey? It was James Bubba Casey.
Yeah, I know Casey, but there was a black coach there who was a head coach there after Ald. Who was the coach after Ald? What year did you go? What year did you finish on Eau Claire?
87.
Okay, so you wouldn't know him. Okay, this is during the 75 to 80 period.
Oh, nah, you look
Yeah.
here, man. Don't put it on me like that, man. Don't
No,
put
I'm
it on
telling.
me like that now.
No, I'm telling my age more.
Yeah, boy, you try to put it on me like that. Now I'm getting up there, boy. Look at him.
Oh, you
Don't
just
put
a
me out
baby.
there yet now.
Yeah, you just a baby, man. Now you went to South Carolina State, played under Coach Jeffries, and how was that experience with the coach?
It was wonderful, man, because actually Coach Jeffries groomed me, and I didn't know it on how to be a coach. One thing he always did. Now, no matter how busy he was, he always had time for us.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he gave us some how you say, some life lessons. I'll put it that way. And some things I never forget, and it made me the man I am today.
Yeah, Coach Jeffries helped me out a whole lot, even though I didn't play at South Carolina State, but he helped me out a bunch when I moved back to the state to coach. And you graduate. What did you earn your degree in?
My degree there was in criminal justice.
Okay. And did you want to go to FBI or was
Well,
Coach
no, basically, you know what? I had plans of going to law school, but after those years there, I said, nah, I don't think that's going to be the ticket, and then I decided and what really kind of turned me around was I had 1 year to finish, but my eligibility was up.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually started my coaching career at South Carolina State.
Oh, good. And what did you coach there? You were just
D-line.
D-line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And after you graduated and everything, you got you got into high school coaching, or you stayed?
Well, you know what? It was one of those long journeys. And when I say long journeys, it's because, one thing we don't realize is that, to actually get in this profession, you must have be certified in education.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell a lot of young guys, right now, if you want to coach and you really want to be in this profession, you must take some steps. And it took me a while, because what I was doing was I actually got out. My first high school job, believe it or not, was at North Meck High in Charlotte. Coach Jeffries had a friend, the principal there, and he gave me opportunity. But what happened with that was that the cost of living was so high, and me not being certified, I ended up coming right back. I did a half of, not even a year, half a season, and ended up coming back down to Black Belt Hilda.
Okay.
And I finished that year out. And basically I did in-school suspension. But my biggest thing to the young guys is, when you're not certified, they give you jobs. They give you jobs, but then when they give you jobs, you got to understand you're at the bottom of the totem pole. Plus, then they can also can take those jobs. Because one thing one of my principals told me, I'll never forget, and this was after I became a head coach. She said, Coach Wilson, you need to go ahead and do what you need to do, because if they can create a job, they can take the job. And that kind of, it just set with me, and kind of, motivated me to go back and get the education credentials,
Mm-hmm.
And, and I first started out in getting elementary ed. It was at Benedict College. It was a program called Second Chance Teachers. So I went through that route, and then actually, and now they call it the PACE, but it's actually, back then it was called critical needs.
Okay.
So now I start the journey. I start the journey from Black Belt Hilda, and end up going over to Saluda. Went to Saluda. From Saluda, I actually went to it was Eau Claire. Came back home, went to Eau Claire, coached there 3 years. Went to AC Flora. AC Flora. And then I went to Ridgeview. Actually worked under Kurt Barnett. I did that for 3 years, and still you in that classified, job situation, and so now I'm ready to go get a teaching job, and I go back into Richland 1. So I actually, my first teaching job was actually at Alcon Middle School. I actually I worked for our superintendent now, Dr. Byron Davis.
Okay.
That was his first principalship.
All right.
So did that. I was the defense coordinator at Keenan High School while working at the middle school. And went from there, and then I finally got my first head job at King Street High School.
I remember that. That was
03.
Yeah.
03, went down there, and we did some good things. I was there for 3 years, did some good things, and I actually think the last time they won the region was when I was there. Did some good things, and then I actually went from there to Calhoun County. Now, in Calhoun County, I was at Calhoun County for 7 years, and it was a blessing. I got to, I did some good things there, and met some good people, and and was blessed, and that started my journey, to be, for some reason they call me now the coach that can, take programs that's not doing well and kind of bring them up to speed, a little bit. And so
it's called a turnaround, coach.
Yeah, bring them up to speed a little bit. I think that's called me the comeback coach. That's what but now, I look at some things and I really, in my life, I have been blessed.
Mm-hmm.
I have been blessed, and I end up going down. When I left Calhoun County, thought I was going to Keenan High School. Some things just didn't work out. So I end up going down there with Reggie Kennedy to Sumter High School.
Mm-hmm.
Sumter High School, we were down there 1 year, and we played for the state championship. And it was a blessing to be on a staff where you actually can experience that opportunity on the highest level and to play the last high school game that year, because, we were 4A, big 4A. And the last game that, in that season was our game against Dutch Fork. Didn't come out well, but, we basically was blessed that. And then, like I said, I went with Reggie, Coach Kennedy, to Irmo. So I went to Irmo, and then, from Irmo there with Reggie 3 years, and then I went down to Battery Creek High School in Beaufort. Me and my family relocated to Beaufort. We on the road. Now, this was special to me because I had a chance to coach my oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was one of the biggest draws also, and that was a special moment. And we were down there 3 years, and guess what? God sent me on another mission. It was time to come back home. My youngest was timed. He was timed and ready to play. So, we basically came back home, and I thought it was a good thing for us to come back here because I thought he could get a little more exposure here in the Midlands.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Johnson High School for 1 year, and we did interesting. It was interesting. We almost won the region. I still say we should, because when you score 44 points, you're supposed to win. You know what I mean? So, but that didn't work out. And now here we go. My son becomes a 9th grader. And I had an opportunity to put my son on the big stage. And I call one of the big stages is the 4A classification. And, this move here was more of a papa move.
Mm-hmm.
I've been helping a lot of kids in my years. Now it was time for me to do something for my own. And, it was a bittersweet thing. I had Johnson rolling a little bit, and you know, and you know, when you do that, but you have to make some decisions that you and God feel is the right one to make. So here we go. I'm at Richland Northeast right now. I went in a program, hadn't won a game in 3 years, and
Are you serious?
and we started out I think 2-0.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Richland Northeast hadn't won a ball game in 3 years?
Yeah, they hadn't won a ball game since
I did not.
2018.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
You know, so hey, and you know, and like I said, we were just blessed, man, and actually we end up going to playoffs this year. They hadn't been in playoffs since 2015. So we did that. And honestly, you know, in some aspects, you know, I feel like we kind of underachieved a little bit because honestly, we should have won 6 games. You know, when you lose 3 games by a total of 8 points, that kind of sits on a coach's chest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the thing about it was some things. You know, I just think it was some growing pains, some culture things, and it's just, you know, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to change the culture, but the kids got a chance to see all 3 phases of a season, which my seniors from last year never saw. You know, when we won our first game last year, one of my seniors cried. And I'm like, you know, and I didn't realize, you know, it's rough to be a senior and just won your first game. You know, and it was a good feeling being a part of that, you know, having a chance for these young people to actually see the other side. And then, like I said, you know, we made the playoffs, but you know, guess who our draw was? South Point. So do I need to tell you how that turned out? Because they actually won it all, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they did.
You know, but the biggest thing is that my kids played on that stage, and I told them the biggest thing is this would be the standard. You know, this is the expectation. You know, so you know, that gives a little. I walk you through mine a little bit.
Okay, well that's interesting. Now let me ask you this: during all those years, did your philosophy change any?
Well, you know
from
what?
the beginning to right now.
You know, if I said no, I lie. Because, Coach, I had to change. And what I mean by that is my outlook, my faith, change. Put it this way, like I always say, because, you know, I'm a social study guy at heart, right? My perspective changed, and it changed my perception. You know, and I always talk to my kids about nature versus nurture. You know what I mean? You can't change the nature, but you can change the nurture. Mm-hmm. So basically, my faith changed. I saw things differently because my perspective, it was changed because I started to let God guide my steps instead of me saying I'm in control and I'm doing this. You know, so yeah, over that years, it changed. And then I'll be honest with you, if any coach says they haven't changed right now, I don't think they really telling the truth. Mm-hmm. Because our youth today is very much different. You know, and don't get me wrong, because I know back in your days, you know, when you was coaching and you was saying, and you talked, and it was funny. You said, Coach, they could never call holding on us because we don't even use our hands. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like right now, it's just certain things and aspects. I mean, the households have changed. These kids' nurture has changed. And it's nothing they don't know. It's not their fault. You know, it's not their fault. I mean, bottom line is, you know, you don't choose to be in the home you are, you know. And the thing about it is, as a coach, you know, I got to meet a kid where they at. And I always, I always give this scenario example. It's like, hey, I'm riding down 95, and you got a lot of exits off of 95. All us, we are trying to get to Fayetteville. So all these exits are coming off to 95. So guess what I got to do? I got to direct them straight up 95 so we can get to where we're trying to get. Everybody's trying to get the same places, but they're coming off different roads, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how I look at coaching. And that's the wonderful part of it, is that, you get a chance. You almost like that the highway trooper when you're directing traffic. Because guess what? They're going to go the way you direct them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You say, hey, this road closed. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to go where you point them to. And that's how I look at it. I'm placing kids' lives to direct them to be good people. That's my biggest thing. I just believe if we good people, we got a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, and I always tell my kids, so right now we're just not too good of a people, but because good people make good decisions. Good decisions is easy to coach X's and O's.
I remember years ago when we used to go to the high school league and during the playoff time.
I remember.
And
I know where you're going.
Yeah, I saw you sitting over there in the corner.
I know where you're going.
And I said, dude.
Go ahead.
Dude, you dropped today. They're going to have somebody in your seat the next morning.
Yes, you did.
I said, take a chill pill. Enjoy this road, man. You're putting too much pressure on yourself and everything.
I remember
I was sick. Yeah, I every time I see you, I say, you remember what I said? And you say, yeah, and everything. And just something about you that day. And I said, calm down, man. It's all right. Well, I'm glad you still remember that.
Yeah, no, because that was a day that, really when I kind of understood some things. I understood that, no matter what I thought, I wasn't in control. You understand what I mean? That was one of those days that you had to sit back and you say, you got to roll with it. But then God put you in my path, for a reason. And like I said, listen, God makes no mistakes. And he put you in my path to tell me, hey, man, it ain't that serious, bro. The sun going to come up tomorrow. And if it don't come up, they're going to find somebody to be in your spot. That's right. And I always remember that. And basically, and I took that with me, Now I'm not going to lie and say at that point right there, I listened, but you know what? The older I got, it made a lot of sense.
All your travelings and everything, you had to have a good general in the house. Somebody who was King Poe. And I said all the time, unless unless mama's happy, nothing goes on now.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be flat honest with you. It was a majority of the time that I wasn't a good husband. I felt at that time that as long as I'm making the bills getting paid and it's food in the house and blah blah, that I'm doing my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that general you were talking about was holding it down. And I'll be honest with you, one of the biggest reasons that I knew it was time for me to leave Calhoun County is because I would leave home in the morning and come home in the dark. and my oldest was getting to that point where he was doing middle school ball. My youngest was doing rec ball and stuff like that, and I'm here raising other people's kids, and my wife raising mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to, I'll be honest with you now, it hit me because, I just wasn't. I'm blessed, put it that way. I'm blessed to have that general that was holding me down while I was being a butt. You look at it like that, and I'll be honest with you, man. It's going on 22. And like I said, I remember our conversation. I said, we were dating when I was a coach, assistant coach. I said, now, guess what? Now it's hard. It's hard being a coach's girlfriend, but it's even harder being a coach's wife. I remember that conversation, and it was funny. But you know what? God has brought us to a place right now where it's getting better, and because I'm taking time for my family, and I and I'm gonna give you a perfect example. And when I saw growth, this is when I saw growth. My youngest is my quarterback, right? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's interesting. He has a chance. That's what I always say. He has a chance. And I'll be honest with you. The first thing I had to do now, because I had to take them daddy glasses off.
Yep. You got to make that. You got to make that distinction.
You got to take the daddy glasses off. Because I done seen so many guys with the daddy glasses on that they blind.
Mm-hmm.
They must be had something. I don't know what they're covering the lenses. But I had to take the daddy glasses off, and he has a chance. I put it that way. He has a chance. So moving on, this summer, he's a freshman. He played for me last year as a freshman now. And he did well. He basically almost threw for 1,000 yards and ran for about 900 as a freshman. So this year right here, it was his first year to go on camp tours, and we taking them out. So we end up at the end of the year, we end up going to NC State, and so the first half of the camp, they took a break, and second half, I'm over there just, watching the session go on, and then he actually, and I'm like, he came over and said, "Dad, we got to go." I said, "Dad, what do you mean?" He said, "We got to go. They want to see us upstairs." And I'm saying, "Huh?" And it was crazy because I've been in that situation with other kids.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the kids that I done coach.
Right.
But it was like, man.
Had no idea.
It was like, man, this, so this is how it feels to be a dad and go upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
And we went up there and I get to that point because they invited him back. They liked him enough, so they had a little thing called Alpha Wolf up there, it's a little get together. They call it a camp because it got to. You know what I'm saying? So he goes and he says it's the 29th. The other first thing I said, wait a minute. That's the first day of practice. We can't go. We can't go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you. And we going, I hadn't told him we ain't going. Then maybe 7 days beforehand, I thought about it. Because we do a little camp up to the school. And, so that means we're going to have 2 a days, basically. So we go that morning and still have one that evening. So anyway, I said, you know what? Nah, we going. I said, well, because first of all, that's why you got assistants. And why should I deny him something he don't work hard for? You know what I mean?
I got you.
It's already a curse now. It's a curse to be the how you say it? the coach's son. So I
That's
wasn't
right.
cursed. So I got to kill him on both ends. Nah, I said, you know what? No, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. And I said that to say this is that my priorities, I promise you, is about my house first. You know, and it took me a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's about my house first. And then guess what? When I can handle my house and my house is happy, then I can go out and make other people happy. You know, and but that's growth, you know, that's growth.
You I appreciate you saying that because I had some challenges in my young days, you know, coaching and everything. I started coaching in Texas, and in Texas, everything is competitive,
Yeah.
and things got out of hand,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody was there to say, "Homeboy, slow down." But I'm glad that what you said to these people who will listen to this, what you said makes will help a young coach, and along the way say, you know what, this man came out and rolled his sleeve up and bear everything to me, and said, the path I'm about to go, I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to bring mama and family along with this, and I got to figure it out. You know, it'll be a lot easier in the future if you do that. So I really appreciate you being upfront about that, because it will help so many other people when they sit there and look at it and say, "Hey, man, you know, this is, you know, that ball thing is going to be gone after a while."
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Mom
and
and them
guess
kids.
what? And guess what now? When they call you in that office and say, "Hey, I think we're gonna go a different direction."
How come they just can't come out and say, "Man, you fired"? Get that
No,
hell out of
because no. That's listen. That's how you say that's politically incorrect.
there. Yeah.
Hey, you know, when they say, "Hey, listen,
Man.
you know what? We really appreciate the things you have done, you know, and you know, but guess what?
Oh God.
Guess who always gonna pick up that phone?
Mama's always gonna pick
Mama.
that phone. Mama's always gonna pick that phone.
You understand that? So at the end of the day,
Oh,
guess what?
oh
You
man.
don't wanna, you know what I mean? And look, and I'm gonna tell you something now. And um as a coach, listen, if you ever forget this, don't ever forget this. It is a business. It is a business. Now, is it a clean cut business? No. See, I think a lot of coaches don't realize a coach contract is year to year, because we don't have that luxury like the college coach. We're gonna get a 3-year deal, you know, guaranteed 3 years. No. So that means when it's year to year, hey, guess what? You might have been pissed the band off because you parked in his parking spot. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. You don't
You
know
know,
where that thing has come from.
huh?
I said, you don't know where that thing is coming from. You
No,
think
but
everything is all
that's
right?
listen. But and that's why I tell my young coaches on my staff, man. Look here, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to cushion the fall. You know why? Because see, what's going to happen is you going to jump out of that window. I know you is, but if I can help it, I'm going to make the mat a little bigger so it'll cushion the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Because in life, you going to jump. You know, you going to jump. That's just being real. But if you got people in your life to mentor you, they can help the fall.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if anybody tell you, no, man, you're going to jump, man, because guess what? In this game right here, it's going to be a time where you feel like you're invincible. You know, everything is about you and the sunshine because Coach Wilson woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
you know. But hey, you can come back to earth now. You can come back to earth real quick,
The
you
game,
know,
the game
because
has
they'll get what they always say. What have you done for me lately?
right. That's right. The game has a way of humbling you
Humbled you
quickly.
all, you
Yeah.
know, because I'm gonna be honest with you now. I'm making you laugh. I remember the days that I had to walk across the field and think of something to say to this guy because I done beat the brakes off him.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? Now, when it came back around when I wasn't doing well, and I was at some schools, and I'm thinking, what this guy gonna say to me? You know, and you know what the favorite line is? Boy, your kids play hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I say to myself? You always just play a little harder, huh? You know, hey, you know that's that favorite line.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just being real, man. That's just being real. And I pride myself on being real. Sometimes, you know, real people can't handle real. You know, they can't handle real.
Yeah. Everybody wants to live in that mirage world, and
yeah, man.
that's very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your staff.
Okay.
I'm sure that you have learned over the years you can't ever do this thing by yourself, even though.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have one guy on my staff that has been with me since I was a head coach. His name is Keith Scott, and basically he's my DC and he's my assistant head coach. I picked him up in King Street. And guess what? We've been rolling. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, loyalty now. Let me give you a loyalty story. The bottom line is, I told you I went to Buford, right?
Mm-hmm.
He stayed in St. Matthews now. All 3 years in Buford.
No, he did not. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
Yes, he did. I told you, yes, he did. And I hate to tell you, but that ain't no small ride now.
No, that's a good hump.
That's a good hump.
Mm-hmm.
No, yes, he did. And I'm telling you, man, you got to have that right hand,
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that right hand. You got to have that guy, because he's that guy when I go to, when I done chewed out a couple coaches, I said, man, was it right? You know what I mean? What you think, man? Was that right, man? I tried. I tried. That's that guy we sit and I'll make you laugh. I told one of my other coach, I said, man, I get on Coach Scott too. He said, well, we don't never hear it. I said, hey, I sit there. That's funny. He's like, well, we ain't never hear it.
Yeah.
I said, you don't supposed to hear it. I said, because, and I was just talking today, because, we met defense, we met today, and I said, Coach Scott has seen the transformation of Coach Wilson. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He has trained, and it's just like I said, man, and that's one. And now I have these other guys, I'll be honest with you, man, kind of 1 and 2 years new to me. I got some good younger guys that's passionate about the game, and they are on that road where you met me. They on that road where you met me, man. Chill. It's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
I say, because I'm gonna tell you, I say, at the end of the day, man, I said, let me tell y'all a secret. At the end of the day, they ain't gonna say you lost. They gonna say Coach Wilson lost. At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
So why are you over here? Just do your job. We good. Do your job. I mean, because guess what, man? I said, and I always tell them this. I say, everybody think they want to wear the big draws. People say big pants. I say big draws. They want to wear the big draws. But then they mess around and find out they can't fit the big draw.
They can't fit it. And
the big draws falling off of them. And they wanted it bad. See, what a lot of younger coaches don't understand. You don't have a clue what the head coach go through from Monday to Thursday. Friday is a break. It's a relief. It's like a celebration. They don't realize that. Mm-hmm. When you kick that ball off on Friday night at 7:30, it's a celebration. We did it. Mm-hmm. We did it because, well, listen here. I done get mama's call, AD call, administration saying, well, somebody else said, blah, blah, this. Well, who? No. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Why this kid acting up in class? Why he and why, no, they don't have a clue. Friday night is a celebration. We made it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think sometimes young coaches, they are in a hurry to get there without preparing themselves.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have a bunch of plays.
Ooh.
But it's do you have a why you want to be a head coach? And if you want to be a head coach, who are you following? Yeah. And I always tell guys, I say, to be the best coach, to be the best head coach, you got to pretend that you are the head coach, working within the head coach philosophy, and make sure that he wants for nothing. That's how you learn. Yeah. And these guys at college, what's the game they play now? Madden. They come out of school or been to a couple of camps, and next thing you know, they already a head coach. I'm ready to go and everything. And it's not about X's and O's. Mm-mm. It's all these other things that you got to learn how to do and learn how to do well in order to be successful. Yeah, down the road and not be up here, part of the.
And you said a mouthful, but that's the thing, because I'll be honest with you, I was assistant coach for 12 years.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to it,
And I had to listen to me. What I did was I had to make sure I was ready. Mm-hmm. I've worked for some coaches that I saw some things I wanted to do, and then I saw some things I didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. But when that time came, I was ready. I was ready. Now, don't say, did I know it everything? No. But and then I'll make you laugh because I had to do a little transformation when I became a head coach, because I was mostly a defensive guy, right? Mm-hmm. So guess what I ended up doing? I called my buddy. My buddy. You had him on the show one time. Darryl Page. Yeah. Darryl Page was my mentor. He was my mentor. He said, Walt, you could do this. You could do this. And, and we met and we talked. And that's when I was at King Street. He was at Wilson. Mm-hmm. And when we talked, and it was funny because we played 7-on-7. He said, Walt, I'd be darned. You using what I taught you against me? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, because you taught me well. Mm-hmm. He said, I asked you one thing. I just asked you to promise me one thing. And I said, what? He said that you will bring one, teach one. Bring one, teach one. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, he said, pass this thing on.
That's right.
Pass this thing on.
You're not the smartest guy in the world. You didn't invent this game. No. Because let me tell you something now. For a while there now, I was beating people with something I got from Jimmy Neal. You remember Jimmy Neal? Yeah, I remember Jimmy.
Like Camden High School.
Yeah.
Listen, man, listen. I got it from Paige. That's who Paige got it from. And you know what I mean? Uh-huh. And I done shot that thing down the farmer. You know, and farmer busting people up with it. And it goes on, you know? And that's how, listen, that's how this game evolves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it goes back and it always going to evolve like that. You know, and that is actually, I say, look, bring one, teach one.
Yeah. I remember as a high school player down in Charleston, and I always remember that all the head coaches would get together after Friday night, after a game, and they go down to a restaurant. They call it Pete's. Pete's restaurant right down there in Morris Street. And all of them would be sitting there. All the schools, Wallace, C. Brown, Burke, and all the black coaches get together. And they'd be sitting down there after a game, no matter if they played each other.
Yeah.
And what I found out later, these guys were the best of friends.
Oh, yeah.
And what I see right now is we don't have healthy competition.
No. We're going to hold grudges.
Yeah, and we can't do that and grow.
We're going to make it personal. You know, you think you're better than me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't going to say no names, but I had a situation when I was at Johnson, right? And we're playing a school that has beaten Johnson for the last 12 years. And I mean, embarrassing beating. So now right now, we go into this game, we 3-0. You know, and you know you know how it goes. Everybody gonna pick up a little press, you know, because this is a school that hadn't traditionally hadn't been, you know, worthy of talking about.
Right. So
now it's news, you know, it's big time news, right? You know, so we go into this game, and they said, man, you know what? Y'all ain't got a chance anyway. You know, y'all ain't got a chance. And you know, but it was fine with that. I was fine with that because that, you know, but when I get a coach, you know, telling me, you know, it's something I quoted on my kids. I said in the past, I said, be special. When that coach yelled across the field, when they were up, right? He yelled, yeah, be special. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he yelled that across the field. And then he said, well, this ain't no 1A now. Right? Now, can I speed up to the end of that story?
Go ahead.
When we left, it was crying. And the thing about it was very simple, man. And at the start, to me, that was just one of the worst situations you could be in, man. Because first of all, you're demeaning kids for no reason. And now you're showing that we have no kind of respect for each other.
Yeah.
And these kids see this. And we supposed to be showing them the better way.
Yeah.
But you showing them, hey, it's okay. You know, and I was blessed enough. We went in halftime down 14-0. You know, and it was funny because, you know, my kids had a complex up because they've been 12 years. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, I said, you know what? I said, guess what, man? We played the worst we could play. We only down 14 points. Now, you told me one thing. You told me all week you were going to fight for me. You told me you were going to fight for me. I said, to this point right now, I have never been ashamed of you. Don't make it tonight. Long story short, we won by a couple of points.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing was, you can't do that, man. for us being who we are, we can't do that. We can't do that. And I never forgot that, man, because it bothers me a lot. You know, and it's not about the game. It's not about the game.
If we go back to respecting each other, rooting for each other, and being professional, things will start. You know, it just amazes me how the professionalism has gone downhill.
It's gone.
Yeah. But we got to bring it back. We got to.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like I said, it takes, instead of complaining about it, it takes trying to mend it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone's got to try to mend it. You know, and I'll be honest with you, man. You know, I do that. I do that because, you know, I feel I'm on my way out. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I try to leave everything better than I found it. That's even the profession that I do. You know, I try to leave it better than I found it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that we have to do better. And you know it, and I know it, man. You know, the thing about it is, because it reminds me of like, you know, you ever been to the wrestling? Back in the day, we used to come at the township, right? You know, and you have Ric Flair and
Mm-hmm.
fighting against Johnny Valentine and Blackjack Mulligan and Wahoo McDaniels. And,
Yes, sir.
you understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And guess what? They in there about, boy, look here. And then, boy, look here, about 2:00 in the morning, you can find them at the Waffle House.
That's right.
they sitting down at the Waffle House, you know what I mean, eating some eggs and a steak. But that's what I'm saying. That's friendly competition. That's, you know, and it's a show, but listen to what I'm saying. It's still friendly competition. You know, it's like, for instance, man, I will help any kid. I don't care if that kid plays for me. I done got many kids. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You remember this? You had the what's the kid name that ended up going to Navy?
Quentin.
And then you had the kid that ended up going to Carolina. What's his name?
Jarrell.
Now you remember Beamer told me, he said, Coach, can you help Coach Johnson get his film right? Because you remember, I don't know what you were doing, but it was, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were very interested in Jarrell, but they couldn't see the film. You remember that?
Right. I had to have a talk with my my video. Yeah.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And see,
let me say this. His son is listening to this right now.
I'm sorry. But guess what? You, like I said, hey, they always say, hey, look here. Sometimes, you know what? Tell the truth, move on. But you feel what I'm saying.
Yeah, I had to teach.
You know, I done had Coach Wolford.
Yeah.
From South Carolina that actually took the Youngstown job, right?
Mm-hmm.
He calls me about my kid. I said, hey, I got a kid right here at OW. You need to look at it. You remember the kid that had all those yards for Tommy?
Mm-hmm.
They ended up going to Youngstown?
Yeah.
It was a phone call.
Yeah.
Because Wolf came down, you know, we good buddies. Look here, man. You know anybody else? I got a kid at OW. So they signed my kid and the OW kid, Youngstown.
Mm-hmm.
Bowman, I went down there and said, hey, look, we got a kid. Guess what? Call Howard. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing for me to walk across the field and a kid from the other team say, Coach, I love you. That's why I do this.
Well,
because end of the day,
if we get rid of, and this is what this thing is not about us, is getting the kids and getting your ego out of the way to know that, let people allow you to be successful and allow your kids to get out there, you know, and stop with these bruised egos. You know,
hey, I had that conversation with my coach staff Friday night after Jamboree. I said, let me tell you something. We come in here Sunday. And Saturday, you leave your ego at the door.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that. That's
Because I promise you, I would not have this conversation next Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you leave it at the door, and that's what we got to do.
Well, we got about 5-10 minutes here. What's your prognosis, without giving away secrets, about this season coming up?
Well, no, it's very simple. If we can continue to address our character issues, we have a chance.
Okay.
We have a chance. It could get interesting.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I'm going to do is to add to this thing, I'm going to bring on certain coaches, if they're playing each other, just have a press conference up here, online, the week of that game, and
that should be interesting.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. But I just want to thank you for coming on, man.
Oh man, you know what? And I can tell you this now. It's like, man, look here, man. He better call me. I said, look here, man. I'm sitting here watching your show. I said, man, look here. I ain't even good enough to get on Coach Johnson's show. I said, you know what? I say, look at here, man. Because I watch, man. I say, oh man. I say, you know what? He being biased because he like them young coaches. That's what it is. He being biased. Now, because you started out with a lot of young guys.
I did.
I said, wait a minute. So that means you done threw me the pastor. But now, I listen, man. You know what? Listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I appreciate what you're doing, man. Because like I said, it may be somebody who watches this and hopefully they get a better impression of me,
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people, I'm going to tell you something now. I've been known as a fool. I've been known as a fool now. I mean, look, and I know that. But my thing is, look, they always say this, it's a method to the madness.
There's always a method to the madness. And
you feel me?
Yeah.
So I thank you, man.
Yeah. Before we go,
mm-hmm.
I need you to, I always ask this question.
And I know where it is. Go ahead.
You already got it scripted out, huh?
No, I don't have it scripted out, but I'm a good impromptu guy. Go ahead.
If you were to have dinner with two people, one a coach or in athletics or a person outside of coaching, who would those two people be?
Well, I mean, I think athletic wise, I would love, and this is great, I would love to sit down with and a lot of people use this with Coach Dungy. Because he has some qualities that I have yet to master.
Mm-hmm.
And the qualities is to be so much of an authority figure without raising your voice.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what environment he's in, he controls it without being aggressive in a sense, and that's an art. That's an art. And then also, he also sees people for people. Because I give you a perfect example. Nobody wanted to touch Michael Vick. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And he went and met with him several times. And then guess what? When he came out, he vouched for him.
That's right.
When everybody, man, a killer, a dog killer. But guess what? No. So one thing, that's the guy. That's the guy. Now, outside, that's interesting. That's interesting. It's kind of, I look at it, but you know what? My life is so full of sports, though. Right? And it's hard to see outside of the arena. It's not going to be football, but I know this was interesting to you. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods. Why? You know why? because Tiger Woods has seen a lot of things. Now he's rich now, okay, but guess what? Tiger Woods saw it when it was unacceptable, you know, and he had to still maintain and steer the court, you know, and guess what? Now, you know, Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods, but I told you I'm a social study guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The psychology teacher in me wants to interview him because you know what? You have to be so strong mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And see, and I know you wouldn't expect that answer there, but that's me. That's how I look at it. I mean, you know, and I know, and I had a lot of people on your show say that Barack Obama, and I heard all that.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought I was coming that way. I wasn't coming that way. You know what, Coach Johnson, one thing you're going to learn about me, I pride myself on being me.
That's right.
And I think Tiger Woods is one of those persons that interests me a lot. It interests me a lot because he has so much, he has so many trials. See, people see all the money, they see all the glamour, all this, but they don't never think about, guess what, man? And sometime in his life, he had to reach out and keep walking. You know, what made him not give up? That's the kind of stuff I like to see. I just like it. So those are my two people.
Okay. Got noted and got it. Okay. Well, Walt, thanks a bunch, man. And gosh, man, I really enjoyed this one.
Well, you know what? I appreciate it, man. And like I said, I am so happy that we have a forum that we can just kind of, you know, let people get to know you a little bit outside. How do you say, outside of the lines, the hashes?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and that thing about it, and like I said, this is a well-deserved show that we can get on and actually be ourselves, man. You know, and thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Well, you can go back. You can go to Mama now.
All right, she over there laughing.
Who you want to play this week?
Oh, we play Crestwood.
Good luck, man. Best of luck.
Hey, man, look at him, man. You know, I tell my kids, right? It's already written, bro. Okay, we just playing our part. It's
have
already
fun,
written.
man.
All right, you have a good one. All right.
Take care. All right, guys. That's the personable Walt Wilson. And boy, that was a lot of fun. All right. We got to get ready for another one. We got two tonight. We got Chris Carter coming up here. But that time has been changed, so I have to run on over to change the time for that broadcast, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock. So, thank you for tuning in, people, and man, wow! If all the calls are going to be like this, all the show's going to be like this. This is going to be a good time. We see you next time, and as if you don't get on the next one, always remember, find somebody that you love and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Have a good night.